everyone. So, this is officially the last the last live stream of this week, in which I basically I had live streams every night, and I really enjoyed it. I am hoping that today, because it's Sunday evening, that people are joining me. I really enjoyed being in live contact with you guys. And for just straight ahead, for next week, I planned. So I do want to continue the live streams, but not daily. I really want to put more time into creating more content. But being live every night is just not realistic for me, because I also have a social life in the night, or on some evenings when we meet with friends, because throughout the day we are working. So I don't want to sacrifice that forever, but we will be having a live stream. I've decided for now every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. UTC +2. So that is the German time. You can just Google 5:30 p.m. German time, like that is, the time zone UTC +2, and then you can translate it via Google into your time zone, so you know when exactly it's going to be in your country. And I hope that people, that we will just see each other there, and it will be the place for you to ask me questions of all kinds, just like we used to this week. Today, first of all, I'm kind of sorry if I look super tired, but that's probably because I am, because we were at a friend's place over the whole day, and that was not super tiring, but just in general, actually I need some downtime now. I don't feel like being in the lighting and being like talking about something. I could easily sleep for now. But I am standing up to my word, and we had, I said I'm going to be live every night, so I am for you guys. And I thought I was going to talk about can you get bulky? And the answer is yes, and I'm going to explain you why. And it's not because I think that lifting or weight training is making you bulky per se, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why. Because there's this this big debate online going on about should women lift or not. And it's kind of, yes, of course, like in general they should just do whatever they want to, but it's like there is this movement that has grown so much in the past years that coaches and personal trainers, they're just telling the females, you can never get bulky, like it's impossible, because, and what they say, like the arguments that they say, they are true, which is that women are not going to, hi Lucas to us, hello. Hi, don't hesitate to ask any questions if you want. I will get to the questions after I finish talking about the topic. And also, if you're German, you can also join my German live stream after this live stream, because I will hop over to my German channel and also live stream there about the same topic. So if you prefer that, or you can do both, whatever you prefer. But thank you for joining me. And so this is what I'm saying is not, maybe it's more relevant for women because they are more concerned about what it will do to their bodies, but in general it just really applies to both or all genders, let's say all genders. And that is, I'm going to explain to you why. Because, so people who say that women can never get too bulky from lifting are right in when they're saying that they can, you know, women are just, they don't have the testosterone and like the anabolic hormones in these amounts as men, so they cannot build so much muscle as men. And you know, that is true. And also it is true that it is a matter of, that's the second argument they usually put forth, it's a matter of you know, body fat. Because you know, you build muscle, and when you still have some body fat on you, then it will look bigger than it actually is naturally. Like, that's logic. And so personal trainers tend to say, well, you know, it's, you just need to lose the excess fat, so, and then you won't be bulky. And while that is all true, here's what I have to say. And I have to go into the principle of body types here, because you have certainly heard, or might have heard, of the different body types. And like body type training, for example, ectomorphs should train differently than mesomorphs or endomorphs. That's the three, you know, the paradigms about body types. And I will not get into exactly like what's the difference between the two, because you can just easily Google it. It would take too long. So I guess that the people that click on this video, they will already have some pre-knowledge about that, because they, you know, they're usually concerned about their body type. Like, are they actually training right for their body type? And the thing is, so you might be familiar with the fact that, so there's different types of exercises recommended to different types of body types. For example, the ectomorph is usually like the very long, lean built kind of body type, and mesomorph is in between, and the endomorph is like more like the strong built body type. And of course there are different body types in the world, but here's what I have to say about different body types. To me, it's nonsense, these recommendations of eating differently for different body types, because I don't think we are fundamentally metabolizing nutrients or macronutrients differently. I mean, of course, it comes down to preferences, but just biologically, naturally, we are, us as humans, we are designed in a very similar way, just like any other species on this planet. And there is, we do fundamentally, like on a fundamental basis, metabolize our food in a very similar way, you know. And the thing is that I think we have some kind of miscommunication here. I think there are different body types, but it just comes down to the fact that they are built differently. Like, it's just the anatomy is different. Like, for example, someone might be much taller than me and have like narrower shoulders or longer arms, which will result in their arms looking much leaner or longer, you know, just because that's just visually what you see. It's just the appearance is different because of longer or shorter bones, or, you know, in terms of how your body is structured, from the bone mass and the anatomy. And that is why there's different kind of body types. But that doesn't mean that that our bodies deal differently with different diets for different body types. Like, it doesn't make much sense. So you might have heard about, or you might have read articles that are saying, the body type myth, like there is no such thing and it's just all a myth. And at the same time, I don't agree with that, because I think it does make sense to talk about body types in general if it comes to what is your goal with your body. Because you can, to a certain extent, change your body if you want to. And of course, we are now, this is all based on that your desire, or that your it's out of a place of curiosity, and from a healthy point of view, like mental view, and you're not dealing with like body dysmorphia or anything, but just in general, the desire, or like the curiosity of what can I do to become stronger, or also be creative with my body, or get the best version of myself athletically, is not bad for you per se. It just depends on your mindset around it. But keep in mind, anyone who's watching who has like an eating disorder past, or like a restriction and under eating background, this is not the right time for you to to dive into that per se. But I just think it's super interesting, because you hear that you cannot get bulky. But here's the thing, now that is where it comes to the body types again. You can, in fact, get too bulky as a woman if that is what you feel like plain and simple. It's about subjective judgment here. If you have lifted for 3 years, and like your arms are like too much for your liking, then why would you have to lift if that is not what you are trying to achieve? Like, if you just love lifting and it's just completely detached from how you look, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you're just only doing it for the looks, which is, by the way, not what I'm recommending, I am not not recommending that at all, then then why, like, what's the point in doing it? Because it doesn't even get you where you want to be. And so what many people don't really realize is that even cardio, even things like walking, this is going to blow your mind, is logically, practically weight training. Like, you are literally lifting your weight up from the floor every step that you take. Of course, yes, it's not heavy lifting. It's not like, of course, it's going to be very different in terms of anabolic and catabolic processes going on, of course. But I'm just saying, just because you're not heavy lifting or weight training in general, it doesn't mean that you are not using your muscles. If it's for you is about just keeping your muscles alive and to increase your blood circulation, then go for a walk, or even go for a run. It will actually also build muscle, of course, only to a certain extent, because you are not forcing the muscle to grow day by day, and by heavy loads and by repetitions. And so the thing is, and now that's like kind of the bottom line here, is that when we are differently built. If you say, well, for example, I myself, according to these kind of invented body types, I would be considered a mesomorph. Like, I'm also someone who is actually building muscle quite quickly. And so, that's another thing. It's they not only suggest different ways of eating for different body types, but also that they say that they are building muscle in, they build muscle easily, or like mediocre, or like super it's super hard for them to build muscle. And so the mesomorph would be in the middle. And I think, like, I don't know the exact science behind it, but I could also not find it anywhere, and that is why I don't really think that some people, they just build, double the muscle. But I think it just all comes down to the fact of the body proportions. And that is um, what creates our perception that people have different body types. It's just because the body parts they have different lengths, different whatever. Okay, so it just, my body type will look super different just if my shoulders were built differently, like if they were maybe like the bones were like here or so, it would make, or if my arms were longer. That is why models are considered models, because they are so longish. And that is why most models are also called ectomorphs, because that's kind of the ideal that the industry is looking like. And they really don't want to lift because they don't want to build muscle per se. But if they are true ectomorphs, they will actually lift kind of heavy, because for them, and that is what I want to say, they do not really like fundamentally build much more muscle, or build muscle much more quicker than other people or other body types. What is going on is actually that when they build muscle, their proportions, it just takes so much more muscle building for them to look more muscular. Does that make sense? So that is actually the bottom line. It's all about the proportions, all about the ratios here. That is why lifting, be it like high rep or low rep, or like super heavy or medium medium heavy, or light weight, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But their muscle that they build, the same amount of muscle on that person, on that ectomorph, who has a very long anatomic, or anatomic, how do you say it, structure, it will look different, much different on them, much leaner than on someone else who is shorter built, has shorter legs, shorter arms, or whatever. It's just the visual component of that. It just creates this perception, this visual, this visual, it just makes the person seem less muscular to us than a different body type. Does that make sense? And so that is why in the end we can say that some people are going to look much more muscular than others by them weight training. And I have been weight training before, and it's, how to say, I can just say from experience, muscle building looks so much different on different people, even when you are taking away the body fat percentage. So if you're just judging the muscle underneath the body fat, and I just think that's super different, super interesting, because it's not true what personal coaches or personal trainers are saying when they're saying to someone. Most of the time that's women, because many times men, they just want to build a lot of muscle, and there's not such a thing as too much muscle for them. But for women, when they are trying, let's take a woman whose goal is to actually just get lean and toned. That is oftentimes what some people are striving for. And so, they trust their coach, and they are convinced of, you can't get bulky as a woman. But what if for the woman's perception on her own body, with her proportions and her ratios, what if what the trainer as body goal has in mind for her is perceived as too bulky to her. Like, what if? And I think that's the case for so many cases, because not all of the women want to walk around with a body that is stage ready, like with like super, good on you if you really just want to have like super muscular thighs and upper arms and whatever, and like a back super muscular. It's aesthetic, and I think everyone should make their own opinion and their own, everyone likes different things, and that is great. But I just think that it's so bad that people are saying, no, you cannot do, like they even get emotional when someone is saying, well, but will that not make me too muscular? Well, who is judging what is too muscular and what not? So it just really all depends on your liking, on your preferences, and on your body building, like how your body is built, on your anatomy. And so for someone who has much longer arms than me and who is larger in general, and and we both do exactly the same training, and let's say we just building the exact same amount of muscle on my upper arms, it will, or shoulders even, it will look much more than on this other person. And that is completely fine and neutral. But what if, I don't necessarily think that is better than before? What if I preferred the way before better? What if I was going for a look that is actually, yeah, it is toned, but more like longer, like longish, like stretched out, something that yoga can, for example, do. Or just in general, what if I just come to terms that more muscle doesn't, I don't think that more muscle necessarily looks better on me than less muscle. I think that's the case for many more times that we are aware of, and that is all there is to body types, I think. It's about the ratios and your preferences, and no one has the right or the power even to tell you what looks best on you, because you are the only one who decides that. Yeah, that's right. And you are the only one who gets to decide what goal do you want to strive for, or like, not that there has to be a goal that you're striving for, but I just want to save some women here who are only lifting for the looks and wondering, like, how am I not, this is crazy. I'm feeling so much more bulky than before, and everyone is telling me, no, that will go away, you cannot get too bulky, blah blah blah. But you are changing by weight training. This is bodybuilding. You are actively changing your body by putting on more muscle, and when that is exactly what you're going for, perfect. But if that is not actually what you imagine it to be, like you just wanted to get leaner and more toned, then if that doesn't match your preferences, and it's maybe just about that you are trying to lose some body fat and not like build more muscle, and even if you take away the factor of body fat, then not everyone wants more muscle. Let's be honest. It's just the way it is, and you are the decision maker. What is too bulky and what not, and it doesn't have. It's just, yeah, plain and simple personal preference. And so let me know in the comments if you have any experiences with this, because yeah, for example, I myself, I do prefer my body having, like, of course I like being toned, but at this point in my life I haven't gotten here with any lifting. I'm just walking. That's literally what I'm doing. And you know, I prefer it much more than if at the times where I was lifting super heavy or even medium, like it's, yeah. And you know, it just took some time for me to come to terms that, oh, maybe more lifting doesn't get me where I think my body looks best. And then so if I don't really just do it for fun and because of the enjoyment of doing it, then what's the point in doing it? But it was a long way for me to come to this viewpoint, because obviously when all you hear from other people is like, you can't get too bulky, like don't, you have no idea, like you have, like it's, you have no idea what you're talking about, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, yes, you can get too bulky if that is what I decide it to look like. So yeah, that's kind of the bottom line here. So it was a lot of rambling. Is there anyone who wants to ask a question? I will have a look into the chat. Okay, there was just Lucas saying hello in the beginning. If you have any questions, please let me know now, because otherwise I will end this live stream here and hop over to my German channel. And I would say that in the next, you know, next week we are going to be live here on Tuesday only at 5:30, and I hope that you can make it there. We will see if there's enough demand and enough requests and enough people joining on a regular basis. Then I'm happy to continue these live streams. What will happen though, it's not like I will do nothing on the rest of the evenings, but my plan is to still create content, but maybe just not as a live stream. And at the same time, I also want to grow my music channel, because I actually have a music channel. And when I finish this live stream, I will put it into the description box. I am a passionate singer and a vocalist, and I just have too many excuses to actually just also start doing stuff there. So that is the plan. That is also what I'm going to do there. And if you have seen other singing videos of mine and you enjoyed them, then just check out the link in the description box, because that is where you will find all kinds of musical stuff, all singing videos of me and my husband. I just got, you know, it's not a good idea to have everything on one channel, because people don't come here for my music, obviously. And that is why I created another channel. Yeah, okay. Please leave me a like, subscribe to my channel. Please don't forget to actually many comments that I post into the community, or many posts. They don't get seen by many people, or also most of my videos are actually watched by people that are not subscribed, and I'm like, wow. But at the same time, maybe that's just because you don't have the notification bell activated, so please make sure it is activated so you don't miss another video of mine. Okay, thumbs up if you enjoyed this week of live streams, and let me know what you want to see next, and I see you next video. Bye bye.